Hi, it's Debbie from Debbie's World. Welcome back to my channel. You may remember that I have been working with Claire Oldham-West, a hypnotherapist. I appeared on her podcast and later on she offered to help me on my new weight loss journey with some hypnosis and other techniques to help with weight loss journeys. I was very pleased with the offer to work with Claire. So now Claire is going to explain more about her course, Slimming Stories Emotional Detox, in the webinar that comes after this clip. It's a half-an-hour webinar and Claire explains more about her course that she's going to be running in February, Slimming Stories Emotional Detox. Now, I am an affiliate of Claire, so if you do decide to go ahead and book this course, I will receive a small portion of the profits. And if you are interested after this helpful webinar that explains everything about the course, if you are interested, then please click the link below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.
So this is just a chance just to touch base with you about my course. So my course is going to be called Slimming Stories Emotional Detox. I just want you to consider for a moment, what would it actually be like for you if you could easily resist the food that you crave with zero desire? Now, just think about that for a moment. I know that for me, Thursday is often a day that I'll go and get weighed, and I sit in group and I hear people having struggled, not necessarily to stick to the foods, the healthy foods, because, you know, most people enjoy healthy foods, but so those things that they snack on, those foods in between time. So how would that feel for you? Just take a moment just to think about that, thinking that you can actually walk into any situation and not be tempted to that food that you really crave. So as I go through, I'm just going to delete these off to make room. And you know, sugar for me, it's always been in my life. I absolutely love sugar so much that I would say that for me, sugar was actually my first love. And school for me, I just found it really boring. I just found it really boring. I was actually quite okay at school. You know, my grades were good, and all the way through school, never had any issue with school. I just found it boring. And if you see here, these jelly bears, the sweets, sugar for me was just that thing that it used to lift me up every day. So what used to happen when I used to go to school, before I actually went to school, I started the day with like a healthy breakfast. I'd walk to school, and about 2 streets away from where I lived was a bakery. And my mum used to give me some money, and I used to order 2 ice buns, and I'd eat 1 ice bun on the way to school after my Weetabix, obviously. And then I'd save the other for break time, like 11s. And then at lunchtime, I said to my mum, you know, ham sandwiches, I don't really like the ham sandwich. I'd like lemon curd. So for lunchtime, often I would then eat lemon curd sandwiches. And I'm sure you can guess where this is going. Then after school, I was quite lucky, or I felt I was lucky, to have a sweet shop across the road from where my school was. So then it was the gummy bears, and at the time, for 25 pence, you would get 2 gummy bears for a penny. So I'd get 50 gummy bears, and then I'd go home. And my mum generally cooked healthy meals. We'd have roast dinners and things after school, fish meals. You know, everything was healthy. But my mum, bless her, was an avid baker. She loved to bake, and not only did she love to bake, I loved to eat the food too. And often we would have a dessert, not all the time, but often we would have a dessert. And then the really big desserts at the weekend, where she'd bake cakes, and all of those foods to me, basically, I guess, symbolized love. It was that food that I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed eating that food because it was a time to enjoy family. Like my mum's side in particular, she's got lots of sisters, so I would eat the food, be surrounded with my cousins, my aunties, would go to my granddad's. They'd all be there with desserts. When I'd leave my granddad's, they'd be there with the sweets. So for me, you know, food has always played a really big part in my life. It's been always present. And I've always enjoyed those times around food, that just like that really nice, good, homely vibe of, I guess, that love put into the food that was cooked by my mum, and being surrounded by family. So here's the thing. Just look at what you're faced with at the moment. So we've got choice power, haven't we? Now, I hear about choice power a lot. So this is what we do. We look at the choices, and we have the beautiful bowl of strawberries and berries, and then we have the donuts. And then we think about the foods that we will choose. That's what we're faced with at the moment, the choice power. And how is that working for you, having this choice power? Because sometimes when we're really on plan, we're really on it, especially in January, because often we've had those, really, really stodgy foods, really stodgy foods. We've had it full on in December, the wine, the food, the high sugary foods. And often come January, we're sick and tired of it. We just want to get started and get on our way. But how is it looking now? We're kind of approaching February. Those chocolates we just want to see the sight of, maybe, at the beginning of January, that they're kind of having a bit of a more of a desire, because we've had so many, but we've had a rest. And how is that working for you, especially if you're looking to make those really great healthy intentions for January? So this is what we're faced with at the moment. We've got that choice power. So I just want to explain a little bit about choice power and about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is a logical thought process. That's a thought process that happens when you get up in the morning and you really focus. It's Monday morning. I'm going to be on plan. I'm going to stick to plan. I've got a week. I've planned all the meals. I've done the shopping online. I'm really, really on it. You really focus, really, really focus. That's a logical thinking. That's a conscious mind. And it's believed that the logical thinking within the conscious mind occupies around 12% of the mind compared to the subconscious. So the subconscious mind is what we're working within hypnosis and hypnotherapy. So the subconscious mind remembers everything. The habits, the beliefs, the behaviors are all housed within the subconscious mind. So just going back to those family times that I mentioned, those really happy times as a child, eating, the ice cream, all those really warm, lovely feelings of parties, of sweet food, of togetherness, whatever associations you have around that food. Often it's a food that you crave. Your subconscious mind remembers that, and it really holds on to that. So how does this work with the subconscious mind? So we know that this is all powerful. It's really, really powerful. It's very similar to imagining like a big boxer like Tyson in the ring with a small child. It's a no-brainer. And what happens in those moments when you feel that you really need that pick-me-up, maybe you've had a tough day at work and you walk in and you're wanting that pick-me-up, and the first thing that you're wanting is that sweet taste, because your subconscious mind remembers everything that's happened in the past. And the thing is that your subconscious mind, the only thing that it has to do is serve you. And that your subconscious mind thinks it's doing exactly what you need, exactly what you want. So before hypnosis, what happens when we look at the conscious mind and the subconscious mind? So when we look at that choice power, I really hope you enjoy this emoji. So when we look at the choice power, just imagine this pie, a bit like the conscious and the subconscious mind. So bearing in mind that the subconscious mind is so big, and you use that choice power, the logical thinking, to think about the choices that you're going to make within your conscious mind. So maybe you're thinking about the scales, you're thinking about, being on plan, you're thinking about being really focused. And this emoji here, although it looks a bit scary, it looks like fangs, it's actually drool, because you're really wanting that pie. And you're making these great choices, because you're on plan, you're really, really on it. But as well, at the same time, your subconscious mind is looking at that pie thinking, I wish I could have another piece. But no, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be on plan. I'm going to stick to plan. But my goodness, just look at that pie. And maybe that pie was like a homemade pie. Maybe it was a gift. So your beliefs, habits, and behaviors are still there. You think about these lovely, warm feelings, again, of being a kid, of your associations are all there. And this is what happens before hypnosis. So I'm just going to show you just a little clip for some work that I did with Joanna.
It smells very sweet, and like the strawberry, like there's a strawberry frosting, so you can smell the strawberry frosting.
So she's loving this at this point. If you used to put that to your mouth as if you're going to eat it, how close can you get it to your mouth until you know?
I just can't. I don't want it.
Do you put that in your mouth, do you think? No, I'm not going to force you to. I'm not going to.
Like the smell is just so overwhelming.
Yeah.
That I can't even like.
Yeah.
Like I can't even like imagine myself eating it.
No. So basically, what was happening with Joanna there is she was describing all those lovely sensations of the donut, and then afterwards she didn't want to put that donut in her mouth. She couldn't stand the thought of that being in her mouth. So I just want to explain that process and what's been happening there. So often within hypnosis, when I'm working with a client, I'll ask them to think of that sugar and really turn that sensation up. So I use a technique within hypnosis called the control room. So within hypnosis, I'll take the client to the control room. I'll turn that sugar right up, and I've put here a cup. So often what I will do is get the client to imagine a cup, putting the sugars in that they'd normally have in a cup. And then I'll ask to put 2 more sugars in, 10 sugars, 20, 30, 40, 50. And you'll see the client with the face will be like, oh my goodness, that taste, they'll be able to recognize that taste, that sugar. So at the point that Joanna is looking at that donut afterwards, and she's thinking, can I taste this donut? It's not that she's tasting that donut, that old sensation, that warm, fuzzy feeling of that donut of family time. She's actually thinking of that donut of being highly saturated in sugar, just like she's having a cup of tea with 50 sugars in. So I just want to point back to this chart that I put here. So now we're looking at new beliefs, new behaviours and new habits. So how can Joanna, after probably 35, 40 minutes, have these new beliefs, behaviours and habits? So it starts with the belief. So remember that the subconscious mind houses the beliefs, behaviours and habits. Within hypnosis, I've explained that sensation of donut is so sugary, so sugary that she literally can't get it in her mouth. That's her belief now. So the behaviour around that changes easily. Why would Joanna put a donut in her mouth if she believes it tastes disgusting? So the habit that's formed in going into the kitchen, maybe, a family event, that new habit is easy because why would she want to put that thing in her mouth? It's gone. It has gone. And that's why within the subconscious mind, change is so much quicker. And you may have heard, hypnosis or hypnotherapy being referred to as rapid hypnosis. And I don't really like to use that term. But just look at that evidence, just look at the evidence. And we think about behaviours, we think about habits, we think about, okay, let's try habit for maybe like 30 days. And then after the 30 days, it'll be ingrained in your mind, and then you can do that habit, and it's not going to be a habit, it's not going to mature. After 30 days, your neural pathways will recognise a new habit. So I've mentioned a bit of a science word there, and so I do apologise. So what I want you to do is just think about the forest. So I live in Nottingham, UK, so I'm surrounded by forest. So just think about the forest and imagine going in Sherwood Forest. So if you're just going within Sherwood Forest, looking at the major oak, within Sherwood Forest, there's lots of pathways. And over time, not the cement pathways, but over time, the pathways within the forest have been trod on so much that there is a path you can walk through. You don't have to dodge trees. There's a clear pathway. However, if you go a little bit further into the thick, dense forest, there is no pathway. There's no pathway at all. So you have to make your way. So when we look at making or forming new habits or beliefs or behaviours, we've got to look at really starting from scratch. So maybe, for example, if you was in the forest and you got lost and you thought to yourself, I need to get out of here. I need to walk forward. It may be that you're surrounded by, plants and leaves and trees that are like so high. It's going to be really hard work. You might get scratched. and you're trying to move your feet forward, but whenever you try and move your feet forward, you're just surrounded by woodland, and it's really hard work. And that's what happens within our habits when we're looking at forming these neuro pathways. We have to really try, and then try again, and try a bit more till after that 30 days it is that bit easier. However, within hypnosis, this process is so much quicker and easier. And I'm talking about science, I'm explaining neural pathways as best I can, but just look at what happened with Joanna. Just look at what happened. That change was there. And the reason that I'm recording these for YouTube is to show people the power of hypnosis, and to tell you that you don't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle with this. And all of this will be in this course. The hypnotic downloads that will allow you to have that change work will all be within this course. So I just want to go on to the next slide. So I'm just going to check where I am now. So in fact, no, I'm not going to go onto the slide. I'm going to just add this to the stream, and let's hope it plays. There we go. Hey, Debbie, I've bought you this as a gift. So, quiet, Debbie, a second. I'm sure you're on here listening. Let me just make this a little larger. So, Debbie, when I asked to work with Debbie, I knew that she'd been struggling. She'd lost around 15 stone with Slimming World, and she'd got back on plan. But I also knew that the cakes, the biscuits were a bit of a struggle. So I wanted to help her. So I reached out to her, and I asked if she'd like to, receive some help within hypnosis. So when she came to the session, this cake that she bought, she loved that sensation of cake in her mouth. She really enjoyed the cake. And the biscuits that she bought on that plate too, she also really enjoyed. I think it was like shortbread and digestive biscuits. They're the food that she really craved. And what Debbie said to me was, before the session started, is that she'd like to go into the kitchen and actually go and make a cup of tea without having to think about the biscuits, without having to reach for that biscuit barrel. That's what Debbie wanted. So this is the part after the session. I just want you to listen to what Debbie has to say about this plate of food that is basically the food that she normally craves. How likely would you be to eat that plate of food?
I don't think I could.
But you bought that food because you wanted to beat those cravings. That's the food that you love.
Before the session started, and I opened the biscuit tin to see if there was any biscuits in, and there were. I really could have eaten one just then and there.
Yeah.
And now I think if I managed to open the tin, it wouldn't have the same appeal.
So everything that you've heard there is Debbie talking about that food that, she really craved. And yet here we see Debbie not even wanting to put that food into her mouth. And the people that I've been asking to work with are brand new to hypnosis. They're not people that have gone through the hypnotic process time after time after time again. That doesn't even make any sense. I'm making new words up and new sentences as I go, blah, 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 blah. So basically, Debbie, I'm going to start laughing at myself now. So basically, Debbie is brand new to hypnosis. She's brand new to hypnosis. She had no expectation really of hypnosis other than what she's seen on stage. And if you go over to my YouTube channel and look at the full session with Debbie, within that session, she actually said, you know what, Claire, this was like literally as soon as she came out of hypnosis. You know what, Claire, I'm not sure if I actually went in fully to hypnosis. And I just, obviously, I let her say what she had to say. And at the point that I asked her to put that food into her mouth, she could not put that food in. And hypnosis, all hypnosis is full state of focus. That is all it is. It's a full state of focus. And while there are many therapists out there charging whatever they charge and rapid this and rapid that and the other, the fact of the matter is that power of change is actually all within you. I'm a hypnotherapist. I facilitate the change, but the power is all within you. That's why this change happens. It's all within you, because your subconscious mind is so powerful. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I'm sat here knowing the change that you can make I know the changes that you can make. I know that people that really struggle with those cravings can move forward and they can stick to the healthy eating plan. You know, I'm not here to preach nutrition. I'm not here to give a diet plan out. You know, I'm here to say, if you can receive the help within hypnosis, then it's going to be so much easier to stick to the plan, whatever you're looking to follow. So Joanna loves keto. I'm not a keto guru by any means, but I know that within keto, sugar and carbs in particular is an heavy within that plan. So removing those foods that Joanna feels tempted by, those donuts that maybe she'll have one or two of, that's a big deal for Joanna. And with Debbie that follows a Slimming World plan, that's a big deal because she's not having to count the sins of that food, because she no longer even wants that food. She can walk into her kitchen knowing that she's not going to be tempted. So just imagine that control that can be yours too. And that's why I'm passionate about it, because I know that this is for you. It's not special for Debbie or Joanna or anybody. Anybody can be hypnotized. It's not, you know, anybody can be hypnotized. And that, you know, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. This is basically just the point. I'm just going to explain the course module. So while we're looking at the subconscious mind and working with hypnosis, we're also going to be looking at those emotions, because just remember those times when you was at a birthday party, those happy, fuzzy, warm feelings of the times that you spent with your family. We need to look at those emotions too. So module one is all about turning over the stones. So this will be the start of a daily journaling practice, just to allow you to pay attention to your negative self-talk. So no doubt if you're listening in America, I know a lot of people that are on here do journaling already. And if you're in the UK thinking, I've not written anything since I was at school, they don't, you know, maybe you're not into journaling. It doesn't mean to say that you've got to do like an epic novel every morning. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking things that come to mind, things that trigger you, things that maybe when you've had a bad day, you reach for that chocolate or you reach for that cake. That's going to be the first module. And that will come with hypnosis. The first 4 modules all come with hypnotic downloads. So module number 2, what alerts your craving? So this is where we're looking at the craving. So this will come with an hypnotic download for the craving, and you'll receive everything just like what Debbie and Joanna's received, to allow you to be able to interrupt that urge, that craving. So basically we're looking at alerting your cravings here, and that's all going to be around number 2. So this is the second module, and that's where we'll look at those things. We'll do more journaling and we'll interrupt that with the hypnotic download. So module number 3, what lies beneath? So we're just really exploring, really having a deep dive around those things that feel highly triggering. Those things, those times that you go and eat those food. And we're just having a bit of a deep dive, because, you know, often you've probably tried a weight loss plan and then you've gone back and you're back and forth. This is a 5-week plan, a 5-week plan that will interrupt that back and forth, that yo-yo, and we're really looking at the emotions, the emotional weight before you even step on the scales. This is what this course is all about, and addressing that. So module 4 is self-acceptance. This is really, really powerful. So this is a process that's going to make a lot of people feel quite uncomfortable. So we're looking at the things that we tell ourselves when we are looking in the mirror. I'm gulping because I know that people are thinking, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, I'm squirming. But we need to go there, don't we? You know, by all means, I could have done a course and just given you the cravings. But this is what's driving those cravings, those emotions, and we need to address that. So that's all going to be in module 4. And again, I'm going to embed that with a really nice hypnotic trance that will allow you to feel those feelings, those good sensations about yourselves. And we're going to make those times feel bigger, brighter and bolder, and really embellish that. And that's going to be really, really helpful for you. So the 5th week is the week that we reflect. That's the time that we reflect on everything. And the reason that I've done a handheld course is because in the past, when I've taken part in different courses, even courses around hypnotherapy, I'll see an open Facebook group, and maybe people have gone to have hypnosis in the past, and then for whatever reason they've not been happy with it, or something's happened. Maybe, for example, somebody is very, very visual, but they couldn't pick up on other things. Actually, most people are very visual, but some people aren't visual, and I need to be able to understand that. Hypnosis is so powerful. It is, period. It's so powerful, and I want you to experience this to its full potential. I don't want this just to be an evergreen course that, you know, I put out there on my website and then people can buy it, go away and do what they need to do with it. I want you to really experience the power of it, and that's why I'm doing this handheld process. So what the course will involve are weekly online group meetings, and these will be held online for you to engage with the other members, and also a Facebook group for the duration of the course. You'll receive 4 hypnotic downloads to support the modules 1 to 4, and also some CBT work, so that's cognitive behavioural therapy, if you're not aware of that, and I'll explain more about that within the course. And then journaling prompts, so we're going to have a lot of journaling in there, and self-exploration. You know, if you're wanting, I'm going to throw it out there now, if you're really wanting just to do the cravings, you know, I can help you with that, no problem. I can do a one-on-one with you. If you're thinking, oh, this is a bit heavy, it's a bit much, but it's the emotions that we're actually looking to feed. It is the emotions that we're actually looking to feed here with the food. Are you with me? So while I can help you stop eating that food, you need to make that connection. There is the emotion. It's the emotional weight that we need to address to stop this process from continuing and inspiring for how many years. You know, ask yourself, how many years have you been trying to deal with this problem with your cravings? How many years have you been dealing with it? And over 5 weeks, what I'm basically saying to you is, I will commit to you, if you want to commit to this process and hold your hand through this, and then you'll be within a community that will be doing the same thing. And I feel that this is the best place for you to really get the help that you need with your cravings. What do you actually need to start this? All you need is a technology. So that's, you could use a phone to go online, headphones to listen to the audio, or computer. You know, obviously if you're online already, you've already got that. Some sticky notes, a journal, and you know, I love journals. I'm a little bit obsessed. I spend a lot of money on them. But you could easily just go and get, you know, a pound journal, whatever that thing is. And last but not least, you need to be able to prioritize time for yourself. You really, really do, to make the most of this. Make yourself a priority. I get that you're probably busy, but make yourself a priority. And what I'm going to do, the hypnotic tracks, they're not going to be an hour long sessions. I'm going to make them around 20 to 25 minutes. So each track will be doable. But if you're thinking right now, okay, well, how am I going to fit this in? If you're already thinking, you're already using the logical mind, thinking, how's this going to work? How's it going to work? Not only is this course going to allow you to get rid of those cravings, this course is going to really look at your ego. It's going to really look at your ego and nurture that ego, so that when you stand in front of the mirror, you're going to value yourself like never before. You're going to tell yourself that positive self-talk. So you will want to make time for yourself. And I know that you might not be there yet. And when you know, I don't know what you're going through in life. And for anybody that knows me and that's listened to the podcast lately, will know that, you know, I've had those struggles. I know what it's like to be able to put yourself on that hill and say, right, here I am. I'm ready for it. But this is what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, are you ready for it? Because I would love to support you. I really would love to support you. So the cost of the course is £99. So the cart is going to be open to purchase this course until the 13th of February. And the start date of this course will be on the 16th of February. So it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. And the reason that I want to start this course on the 16th of February is you'll have gone through Valentine's Day. And we talk about self-love, don't we? We talk about self-care, but we look at that from a logical mind. I must be this, I must be that. If I go to this thing, if I read this book, if I do this logical action using my conscious mind, then at the end of it, I will be this. But within hypnosis, we're dealing with the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind. So this transformation isn't just about cravings. We're dealing with the emotional weight. So imagine getting on those scales year after year with that heaviness, that heaviness of that emotional weight, that journey to lose weight. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be uphill because, like I said, most people enjoy healthy foods. It's not the healthy foods. It's those foods that they crave that are drawing them to make those choices. But all of that can be held within the subconscious mind. This is all about doing something different. It's all about changing things up, doing something different, and allowing that change process to move you forward.